2016 Wildcats Preview, presented by Murphy Door, is also brought to you by Golden Law, Integrated Medical Solutions, Fazoli's, Garcia Law, and Infinity Medical.
Welcome to the 2016 Wildcats Preview, presented by Murphy Door. I'm Dan Reefer. We have compiled more than 50 interviews with UK players and coaches to bring you this comprehensive look at the Cats. We'll introduce you to some of the UK freshmen. And I sit down with UK quarterbacks coach and co-offensive coordinator Darren Henshaw. Plus, we'll take a look at the defense. But first, here's what UK expects on offense this season.
We talked to him about the first meeting. We've got high expectations for this offense.
The last offense Eddie Gran directed ranked 6th in the nation. Gran and co-offensive coordinator Darren Henshaw had Cincinnati averaging more than 500 yards per game last season. 2 years ago, Drew Barker told Tennessee and South Carolina he was staying home to play for the Cats. And now, it's his time.
We have higher expectations. He has higher expectations than being the starting quarterback here. He wants to be the starting quarterback and develop and produce.
And Barker knows exactly what he has to do in order to produce.
I know that I'm not going to win a game by myself doing some heroic play, all the time. So those guys that we have, the playmakers that we have, they played a lot of football. They can make a ton of guys miss in space. So my role is really just to get those guys the ball and let them make the plays.
Backing up Barker will be JUCO transfer Steven Johnson, who has shown an ability to make plays with his legs, but is still progressing as a passer.
I've been excited about Boom, what he's doing. He's running the ball vertical.
Boom Williams has also improved his conditioning.
Just trying to get myself in shape where I'll be able to stay in the game longer.
Saheem King is small but speedy like Boom. Mikel Horton is a power back. Freshman Benny Snell has shown a physical running style that's caught Gran's eye. He's had praise for freshman A.J. Rose, too. But the leader of the group is senior JoJo Kemp.
Given them expectations we have, nobody wants that same feeling as before. We want to really get over this hump, and we really working on the fundamentals, the small things, the details, just so we can get everything dialed in, so we can finish.
You guys have seen the growing pains we've had over the years with receiver. Since I walked in here, that's been a position we've been working every year relentlessly about building the depth at receiver. We finally feel like we have that.
Like Drew Barker, Dorian Baker has made some changes since last season.
I just like, where Dorian's head's at right now for sure. I think he's doing a lot of great things. He's practicing as hard as I've ever seen him practice.
I'm working on consistency in the drops. That's what I'm working to fix right now. That's being more consistent.
Dropped passes plagued the Cats last season. Jeff Badette says that's changing.
LT is harping on that. Every day after practice, we got to catch 25 balls from those jug machines over there, and we just making sure we can eliminate those drops.
LT is new receivers coach Lamar Thomas, who left the same position at Louisville for UK.
Everything that you need for a coach, from personality-wise to attitude to leadership, he has it all, and that's something that I think for our receiving corps, that's something that we needed here at UK.
Senior Ryan Timmons is counting on finally having a breakthrough season.
It's his time. At the end of the day, it's about production. This is not a hard game. You know what? You either do it or you don't.
Timmons, Badette, Baker, and Garrett Juice Johnson are likely to be UK's first 4 at receiver. But right on their heels are redshirt freshmen Taven Richardson and Jabari Greenwood.
Taven and Jabari are doing a great job. They make plays every day. They're really pushing those guys, and that's part of why I think we'll be successful.
And JUCO transfer K'Wan Ross can't be ignored, nor can the steady hands of former walk-on Charles Walker, who was awarded a scholarship during camp.
When Coach Grant was hired, I think a lot of them guys really got happy wherever they were at. I know as a tight end coach, I knew what he was going to bring to this offense, but you still got to have the Joes, and we got the Joes.
The Joes are sophomore C.J. Conrad, Nebraska transfer Greg Hart, and true freshman Justin Rigg, who earned the praise of coaches during camp.
We're going to be physical, and we're going to make plays for Drew, and I think it's going to really help in the red zone especially, and I think you're going to see a lot of production from us this year. Big numbers jumps, I think.
Conrad showed his potential last season. Imagine cloning Conrad.
Greg is just as good as CJ.
O-line, we feel good about, 6'7", 8 guys that can play some winning football, which is nice to see, which we haven't had for a while.
Fifth-year senior John Toth is the anchor at center, flanked on his left by guard Nick Haynes and tackle Cole Mosier. On the right side, guard Ramsey Myers and tackle Kyle Meadows. All of them are fourth-year juniors.
This is the most experience we've had on the line here.
Lexington native Landon Young has no experience, but is pushing to get plenty as a true freshman at left tackle.
He's doing things where you can't ignore him.
Coming up, we'll meet the UK freshman, plus a conversation with Cats QB coach and co-offensive coordinator Darren Henshaw. But next, I'll look at the defense when the 2016 Wildcats Preview presented by Murphy Door rolls on.
Shatter those old door concepts and get creative. Check us out at themurphydoor.com.
Welcome back to the 2016 Wildcats Preview presented by Murphy Door. We took a look at the offense. Now for a look at the defense, which is counting on some talented but inexperienced players.
I feel like we made a big jump defensively. Depth is an issue, but we're going to be just fine.
Just a few days into camp, Mark Stoops announced starting defensive tackle Reggie Mint had left the team for personal reasons, with his return this season unlikely. But the Cats have had someone else step up.
I think Courtney Miggins is the one that's playing really well, and all the other ones need to get better.
Defensive coordinator DJ Elliott did not mention Matt Elam, but make no mistake, Elam is in better shape and more mature than this time a year ago.
Just being able to move better, just me being able just to be in there more. So I feel like if I'm in there more, I can make more plays, and that helps me, helps the team.
Adrian Middleton and Alvonte Bell will be counted on as run stoppers. Bell as a pass rusher, too, along with Kinjera Daniel.
You asking who's the best pass rusher on the D-line?
On the D-line.
Me. I mean, I don't want to sound like that, but that's just how I feel all the time. I feel like nobody on the field is better than me in my job.
Also keep an eye out for true freshman defensive end TJ Carter.
With Courtney, he's a special leader. He is a guy that it does come natural to him because he lives it every day. He's not afraid to be unpopular. He challenges guys the right way. He lives the right way. He's special.
Courtney Love hasn't played a single down of football in the SEC yet, but is expected to be UK's rock on defense.
I want to be a leader, That's what I've been raised to do, My dad was in the Marines. He stresses discipline, and he's hard on me, and that's just how I've grown up, just to be a leader and, follow good leaders.
Minnesota transfer Denero Laster and true freshman Cash Daniel are expected to provide depth inside.
Denero Laster, right there. He get all the love. Always coming downhill, hitting everybody hard. So he's the guy in the meetings that pretty much gets a lot of the praise as well.
Cash is doing a lot of great things. He's competing his tail off, and he's physical. He's got a nose for the ball, so he's doing some good things.
Eli Brown and Jordan Jones have been neck and neck for the starting will linebacker spot.
My mindset, if you're going to beat me, you got to beat me. And if you're going to beat me, you got to beat me every day because I'm going to come to practice and I'm going to play hard, and that's how you're going to see in game.
One of the few returning starters on D is Denzel Ware on the outside.
I just took the fear of messing up out my head. I played timid last year. I was scared at times because I didn't want to mess up or I didn't want to be yelled at. But now I'm out here and I'm attacking everything full speed.
Sophomore Josh Allen will start at the opposite outside backer. The Cats are counting on Allen, Ware, and sophomore Kobe Walker to provide pressure off the edge.
Kobe is a guy that's very explosive. He's a very good rush guy. He's very active when he rushes, and we need that.
We've been saying all summer, we're trying to be the new DBU, you know what I mean? LSU, they got their little tradition. Florida, they got theirs. We're trying to be the new DBU this year.
Chris Westry and Derek Beatty have a chance to be the SEC's best cornerback combo.
Man, they great. They're great. I love them. I mean, just make a job easier on me.
I feel like we're the best group of DBs that Kentucky's had in a while, if not the best.
The Cats did lose a rising star at safety when Darius West suffered a season-ending knee injury the second week of camp. But UK has enough depth in the secondary to still be able to carry the defense.
We accept that challenge and that burden, from day one. I tell them, if you don't accept that, then you're in the wrong room.
Coming up, UK has some characters among its freshman class. We'll introduce you to them. But next, Cats QB coach and co-offensive coordinator Darren Henshaw joins me.
So I got to play in the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
And the game that we went to was in Rupp Arena.
Shadow those old door concepts and get creative. Check us out at themurphydoor.com.
Co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for Kentucky, Darren Henshaw, joins us now here on the Wildcats Preview 2016. Thanks for making time for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan.
This is now the third offense that these players will have had in 3 years. Is it unreasonable to expect too much in the first year?
For the first 6 months, I'll tell you, we've come, from night and day where we've come mentally. Now we've got to go do it physically in an environment where we have, a couple 100,000 people going to be screaming and yelling at you at the same time. So that's where the discipline comes in. That's where we have to keep it simple too for our kids. It'll look complicated at times to the defense, but for our kids, our goal coaching-wise is to make it simple for them so they can go play fast, they're not thinking, and they're reacting.
What gives you guys confidence that it'll work in the SEC here?
When I was at Tennessee, we ran a very similar offense, and we were very successful. We had great players, and we had good coaches, but statistically, we did a lot of great things. Came and took that to Cincinnati. You have to have a quarterback that can throw accurate passes, that's able to pick defenses apart and cause them to not like the passing game, which opens up the run game, and vice versa. The run game will help open up the pass game. And that is the key, is to be able to play that chess match with a high-tempo scheme also being involved, which gives defensive coordinators a little bit of a headache with the speed of the game because they got to make their calls quick.
What are some of the first things you did when you got here with quarterbacks, just regarding philosophy or fundamentals or anything you honed in on immediately?
But the first thing I did was take them and I said, here's a route tree. You're to go throw with the receivers immediately, and we're going to throw year round. And I said, we're throwing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I said, you can take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, but we were throwing Monday through Thursday every freaking week, all the way up into spring ball. And they have not done that before. And again, I didn't know exactly what they did, but they were not used to throwing in January. And I said, we're throwing. The minute they came back, we're throwing. And that's how you get good at throwing the ball, is that you're throwing year round. You don't have to do it long periods of time where you throw your arm out, but you have to do it where you're doing it all the time.
What do you like about Drew? What are some of the things he does really well, and maybe what are some of the things that he doesn't do so well yet?
Well, he has a very strong arm. He is a leader, and you can also lead in bad ways, which, as a young kid, he made some bad decisions in some different situations, and I told him we need to change your brand when we got here, and he has. He had a 3.75 GPA in the spring. He's done everything I've asked him to do. And I really, really like his leadership where it's at right now. He's leading by example, not with his mouth, which is what you need to do as a quarterback. And as far as gameplay, he has as strong an arm as any quarterback I've ever coached. He can throw the deep ball very, very well. We've got to continue to work on the accuracy on the deep ball.
And you coached Tyler Bray at Tennessee, who threw some deep balls pretty good to Cordero.
Pretty darn good. That's exactly right. So, I know what it's supposed to look like, and Drew has everything in position to be able to be an excellent quarterback. Now, the deal is we got to go take it to game day.
And you touched on the importance of accuracy. Kentucky has not had a quarterback complete 60% of his passes or better since 2010. Do you feel better about that this season? You feel like, it has to change, right?
Well, what I do is I call it target and decisions. That's how I grade them. I don't grade them on completion percentage. So every time we throw a pass in practice, we throw a pass anytime. Was it on target? Okay. Now, if a receiver makes a one-handed catch that's on the ground, and that's not a target ball, that's a no. So it counts as an incompletion in our grade book. So I'm constantly grading them on strikes. Are you throwing strikes? Now, the other thing is you throw a strike right there and the receiver drops it. Well, that's a yes in my grade book. So when we grade after a game, I never go, Coach Stoops, this is what our completion percentage was. I'll say this is what his target throws were. He was 70. I want to be over 70% on our target throws. And if we've done that, we've done our job at quarterback. That means we're getting the ball to the right people. Also in decisions, I want to be over 90% in decisions, meaning that you're going to the right person. That's half the battle, is that you don't know where to go with the football. And with our system, I really believe I do a good job with getting them to understand where to go with the football so they can play fast. They understand coverages. We go over it and over it and over it and over it and over it. And if something's complicated, we throw it out. It's that simple.
Now these are getting to know you.
Okay.
Now what's the best game you've ever been a part of?
Of course, I'm going back to when I was coaching, not when I was playing. But when I was at UCF, we went to Alabama, and my brother was the starting wide receiver, senior wide receiver, and he had gotten hurt the week before and could not practice and had to get shot up before the game. We didn't know if he was going to play. And he had 190 yards, and we beat Alabama 42-40 on a last field goal, and that was a pretty fun day.
Now, are there any hidden talents? Were you in plays in high school, or did you were you on the debate team, or anything like that?
No, really, just sports my whole life. I mean, I did play basketball in college for 1 year for UCF, my junior year. So, and we played in the NCAA tournament. We won our league, and we went to the NCAA tournament. So I got to play in the NCAA tournament.
Wow!
And the game that we went to was in Rupp Arena, and we got to play Glenn Robinson and Purdue in the first round of the NCAA tournament. We got beat. They went to the Final Four, I think, that year. Purdue did, but that was fun to be able to be in the NCAA tournament and to be in Rupp Arena also. So I got to play in Rupp Arena.
Before you came here, it all comes full circle.
That's right.
Coming up, meet UK's entertaining freshman class.
I'm not trying to go back to Pikesville.
See, they think
It's the same thing.
Pikesville is the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's
right
like 35 miles away from each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shadow those old door concepts and get creative. Check us out at themurphydoor.com.
Welcome back to the 2016 Wildcats Preview presented by Murphy Door. Back on Media Day, we got a chance to meet the UK freshmen. A lot of characters, some good personalities, and you get to see them right now.
You brought what to the dorm?
My banjo.
So who's your roommate?
Cash Daniels.
How does Cash? He knows banjo, right?
He doesn't know it, but I don't think he minds it.
He brought that out in the dorm the other day. I tried to act like I knew what I was doing because I'm from East Kentucky. So everybody assumes we all can pick banjos for some reason.
I've got Cripple Creek down a little pretty good, and I'm trying to learn dueling banjos right now.
Well, see, I figured you'd jump in there on the jug. No?
No, not on the jug. Not on the jug. I'm not that really musically talented, actually.
He sort of sings.
How in the world does a football player get into tap dancing?
See, my high school basketball coach, his wife was one of the tap dance teachers. So they were just for footwork, just the extra credit in the class. I just took it, I ran with it. I liked it. A couple of other D1 guys from my high school did it, so we were in there having fun, and we were pretty good at it too.
You used to be into fencing, is that right?
Yeah, I used to fence middle school, because my old school, they used to put me in a bunch of stuff. I did tennis, fencing, swimming, a whole bunch of stuff, but I did that for a little while. It was kind of fun. It's just kind of, you get tired of people poking you with a little sword, so I got rid of that real quick.
Well, what about these guys around here? They know you're a tap dancer yet?
Nah, not a lot of them. They read my bio. I ain't got out there yet, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out soon.
And when it does,
they're gonna take it too far. I already know. They take the smallest stuff too far here, but I love these guys, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm gonna be an accountant.
How did that come up?
I'm good with numbers. I don't know. I just like it.
But accountant is probably the most boring job in the world.
No. I took classes when I was in high school. I took business classes. I took accounting, so I like it. I like it.
So you're kind of a dork in that way, right?
Nah, I'm not a dork. Nah.
Well, I remember always having the jersey on, Jacob Tamme jersey, Randall Cobb jersey. I love wearing jerseys, and I always wear a UK jersey to school, so it was I always wanted to be a Wildcat.
I was reading the media guide. It says that your eyes change colors.
Yes, sir.
Well, how does that happen? Does it have to have, like, you got a different color shirt on and then it changes, or what happens? You chameleon or what?
I mean, it's weird kind of changing by my moods. Like, when I'm happy, they're blue. When I'm mad, they're green. And then, like, if I look into the light for too long, then they turn gray. So,
see if we can we see your eyes change now?
I don't know what color they are right now.
I saw that you had an offer to play rugby at Army, West Point. Was that a decision you really needed to think about?
Yeah, I actually could have gone anywhere in the country for rugby. Cal for rugby, which is the top rugby program. Army, they're all varsity programs, have their own facilities. So, I mean, it was a tough choice, but in the end, I had to pick football.
Who's the nastiest of the bunch up front?
The nastiest of the bunch? Oh, I'm the nastiest of the bunch.
A freshman says he's the nastiest of the bunch.
Ask anybody. No, I think we've got a lot of nasty guys. We got a lot of guys that finish blocks, go through the whistle. I expect to see a lot of pancakes out here Saturdays. So that's my best friend right there. That's Josh Allen, right here. So I got to know him right here.
Yeah, that's me. You know.
So, hey, he can't. Madden can't handle me.
But come on, bro. Chill out, bro.
What about
Chill
fishing?
out.
Is he taking you fishing yet?
No, he never took. I'm not trying to go back to Pikesville.
See, they think
Paintsville. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's like
right there.
it's like 35 miles away from each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a lot of villas, man.
Paintsville. Where you stay?
Paintsville.
I said that.
You said Pikesville.
Hey, appreciate you shouting me out.
Hey, no problem, bro.
3 of those freshmen you just saw, Cash Daniel, Landon Young, and TJ Carter, are likely to play this season. All of those freshmen came to Kentucky with the promise of playing for a program on the rise. A new $45 million training facility and Commonwealth Stadium continues to undergo upgrades. Now it's time to produce results on the field, which begins with Southern Miss Saturday night at 7:30. Will it end with Kentucky's first trip to a bowl game since 2010? I don't know. But football season is here, and that's worth celebrating. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed watching the 2016 Wildcats Preview presented by Murphy Door. I'm Dan Reefer. Thanks for watching.
The 2016 Wildcats Preview, presented by Murphy Door, is also brought to you by Golden Law, Integrated Medical Solutions, Fazoli's, Garcia Law, and Infinity Medical.